She committed a severe felony. This is true, she literally could have killed someone. Hey guys, today we are reading more Reddit stories. We are doing AIT8H again.
Yeah.
First story. AIT8H for purposely dumping a bowl of red punch onto my friend's white carpet. Yikes,
You know,
you're not getting that out.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to purposely do.
You're probably the a-hole just based on the title. I guess she could be considered an ex-friend now. I, 35 male, recently got back together with my ex-husband, Jay, 37 male, after years of divorce. Our divorce was pretty messy, but I've already posted about it, so if you're curious on the details or how we got back together, you can go look. What I will mention is that Jay is an alcoholic. He's been sober for years now, and it was how I knew he was ready to make a change, and was also the reason for our split. I've long since explained this to all my friends and family, and I thought they were fine with it. Last week, we were invited to a party my friend Addie, 31 female, was hosting. I met Addie during the time when Jay and I were separated, and we bonded due to our similar circumstances. Her ex-husband was addicted to drugs, and she left him for it. She was the last friend to come around to Jay and I getting back together, but I thought she had come around. We got there, and it was maybe 90% people we didn't know. Addie greeted us, and when she did, she made sure to say it was a dry party, which Jay thanked her for. She also made sure to point out the punch bowl she had worked all day on, and said it was her best batch yet. I'm allergic to pineapple, so I didn't have any, but Jay loves it, so he kept getting more. We were there for about an hour. I had lost track of Jay for a bit, but I knew something was wrong when I saw him stumbling towards me, upset. He leaned in close and muttered, I think there's wine or something in this.
No.
That's horrible. That's like actually, that's really dirty to do. I quickly and quietly escorted him out and told him to wait in the car. I went back and asked Addie, who was standing by the punch bowl, why she lied about the punch since Jay was tipsy. She looked at me in the eyes before saying, I didn't add anything to it. Maybe he brought his own? With this smarmy, crab-eating grin on her face, I kept getting angrier and angrier with her as she kept denying it she did anything, but smiling wider and wider, and after a certain point the party had stopped and we were yelling. Yikes.
Dang, the whole party stopped.
Eventually she said something along the lines of, this is what happens when you trust addicts. You should have known better. In that moment, I saw red, and I grabbed the punch bowl and very deliberately poured it all over this beautiful white carpet. Addie kept screaming, but I didn't waste another second in there and went back to the car where Jay was sitting and crying. Oh, that's sad. Since then, I've been keeping a very close eye on Jay. He's been crying when he thinks I can't hear and keeps looking at his sobriety chip.
Oh, man.
That's horrible. He didn't go to his AA meeting a few days ago, which I talked to him about, and he agreed to go next time if I came with him for moral support. He has thankfully not had any more to drink. Since then, people have been blowing up my phone, most of all Addie. She's demanding I pay her back the $500 it cost for her rug. I have unknown numbers from the people at the party texting me and calling me a crap stirrer, among other things. I'm beginning to wonder if I went too far messing up her rug. AITA. I think it is an a-hole thing to do to mess up her rug. She is the main a-hole of the story,
she instigated it, obviously. Trying to get someone to relapse like that. That's horrible. That is a terrible thing to do. So bitter almost. She was almost jealous of
that they got back together and she didn't get back with her husband.
Her situation was like she's putting her trauma onto your situation.
Yeah, that's so sad. And it's so sad how disappointed he felt about drinking and like just all of that like achievement and accomplishment just felt kind of
tossed out.
Yeah.
But not under his own fault. So
it's still a little difficult.
Difficult, but easier to recover from, I think. Yeah, I think pouring the punch over the carpet probably was a little too far. You should have just stormed out.
Yeah, you should have just cut her off. I don't think you need to retaliate like that. Yeah,
and you know she lied to you to your face multiple times. Why do you need to keep arguing with someone who's just stonewalling your argument? Yeah. One, he already drank what he drank. Making her admit it or not won't fix that. So really, you just kind of got to cut your losses. But instead, you escalated it a little bit more. So yeah, it's kind of...
I would say like you are an a-hole for that, but she's more of an a-hole.
She's an a-hole for making someone drink when they didn't want to. And then escalating further still is escalating further.
Alright, let's read some comments.
Comments.
She committed a severe felony. Remind her and her friends of that, and that any more contact will mean you press charges. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Dang,
Like,
that's a
can you
felony?
sue for that?
I didn't know that was a felony,
I mean-
like a federal offense.
Someone else said, this is true. She literally could have killed someone. You can
That's true.
block numbers as they come in, or you could create a response to cut and paste. Please let him know that the situation has no bearing on his sobriety, as it wasn't his choice. Get him back into AA. He may feel like he has failed his sobriety. Let him know he hasn't. The woman is a vile witch. She didn't prove anything other than she is hateful and untrustworthy. I would never speak to her again. If she continues to harass you, I would consider contacting the police because she specifically told you it wasn't spiked when it was. Yeah, she's just a horrible person for that.
Yeah,
And
she
she's just
sucks.
unhappy and is trying to mess up your life and your relationship, and that's just...
Misery loves company. It's true.
Especially because they bonded over that. Like, that
so it's
is how they became
their
close.
thing is no longer there because you're kind of reconciled.
Oh, well. Next story.
I like the stories where it's like, hey, you could be the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend that I've accidentally been sleeping with her fiance?
How do you do that accidentally?
It's just, you just fell into someone's room and in the bed and closed the door and all your clothes just fell right off. It happens to everyone, obviously. Oh boy, that's a hell of a title. I'm aware I don't really know how to start this, so I'll just get into it. I'll preface this by saying I'm a 22-year-old man, very gay. I was in high school when I met this friend, and she was the cool older kid the year above me. For all intents and purposes, we'll call her Sienna. Now, after high school, I went out of state to college while Sienna went to the local uni. We kind of lost touch other than the obligatory happy birthday and Merry Christmas texts, so you can imagine my surprise when I got a text from my mom a few months ago saying that a wedding invitation from Sienna had gotten delivered to my parents' house. Sure enough, a quick text to the lucky lady confirmed that she was getting married. Her longtime partner, Marcus, 25 male, had finally proposed. A summer wedding right in my hometown, right when I and some of our other friends would be back in town from uni. I was invited to one of the pre-wedding girls' nights because my life is that of the two-dimensional comic relief gay side character, I guess, and I got wasted. Like the kind of drunk where logic isn't even in the same dimension. So when the topic of the other people in the girl squad's relationship came up, like the genius I was, I whipped out my phone to show them the hot guy I'm hooking up with just as a dumb summer fling, who turned out to be Marcus.
Oh no.
Oh
That's horrible.
no. Rightfully so, Sienna lost her crap. Fair, no criticism from me. But then she turned on me and started blaming me for ruining her wedding. For clarification, because I'm sure this will come up in the comments, no, the wedding invitation did not have any photos on it. It was one of those minimalist designs with over-the-top calligraphy, that's it. Her socials only feature her. I had no way of knowing what he looked like. I don't personally think I was at fault here, but here is where I think I messed up. I very loudly and to the entire club drunkenly said, "It's not my fault your cheating fiance likes to do it with other guys, Sienna." I feel absolutely awful. I don't want to be the other woman, technically guy, but you get it. And I certainly don't want to hurt a friend like that. I've apologized 1,000 times, but she's not interested in talking to me, which I totally get. When confronted, he confessed to not only hooking up with me, but also 8 different guys over the course of a 4-year relationship. Their wedding's been called off.
What?
Wow. That's
That guy
crazy.
sucks.
Yeah, dude, you're just a prolific cheater.
Oh my
And you proposed to
goodness.
this poor girl.
I know.
Oh.
No, you are not the a-hole.
No.
I don't think so. You had no way of knowing, and you're doing your thing, and
Yeah, you just hooked up with a guy you met online, probably, or
Ye-
however you met. But
yeah, and it's like, how were you supposed to know that that was her fiance? Like,
no.
when would you ever think of those two things?
No, you going out with a gay man being like, oh yeah, this gay man probably has a fiance who's a girl I know.
Like, what?
No, you're never going to think that. She was blaming you, which is just wrong.
No, you cannot
That's like the classic
blame.
blaming the other person instead of the
Yeah,
person who's
and
been
it's like,
cheating.
I think if they know that that person's in a relationship, they are...
Yeah.
You can be mad at them too, but you can't be mad at them if they had no idea that that person was in a relationship. I think it would be normal to feel a bit upset about both parties, like, because you
Like,
are
yeah,
her friend, and
there's
it's just a confusing feeling. And she's
yeah,
just
there's
upset.
some very complex thoughts going around.
She just probably needed to take it out on someone. She's not in the right for that, but I do understand that she's just upset.
Yikes, you helped her dodge a bullet for sure. She's just upset now, but I hope that someday she realizes it was for the best. Yeah, I hope someday she realizes that in no way is your fault and you didn't do that maliciously.
Yeah, and that, you know, it was a good thing that she found out, or else her marriage would have just been filled with him cheating on her, and she probably would have found out eventually. She needs to get tested for diseases if she thought they were monogamous.
That's true.
She should.
Just
oh my gosh, that would just be the freaking cherry on top. To
One, you got
STI.
cheated on. One, you got cheated on. Two, you broke up your wedding. Three, now you have an STI. That sucks.
Okay, next story. Am I the a-hole for abandoning my so-called family after discovering the truth? It's kind of a mysterious title. Okay, what kind of sentence is
like 3 typos in a row.
All right. I, 32 male, am married and have been since I was 20. We had a little boy a few years ago who is now 9. A few years ago. It's almost a decade. We had a little boy a few years ago who is now 9. My wife is the same age as me. Recently, it came to my attention that my partner is less than faithful. Yikes. I caught her cheating on... This person doesn't know how to type. Maybe they don't speak English that well.
English isn't there first.
I caught her cheating red-handed. I won't get into that part, though. I've suspected it for a while, but I never could catch her. She was very good at being a liar. We stayed together for the kid, and we're halfway trying to work things out, and I was living in a hotel for a bit. She has a best friend that is known for having multiple partners. And one night, I ran into her as we hung out drinking, and she ended up staying the night at my hotel room. We didn't do anything sexual. She tried to kiss me, and I just couldn't go through with it. My wife apparently decides to come see me the next morning, and there was a blowout. The cops were called from the screaming, and I was kicked out of the hotel. In the middle of all that, she told me that our son wasn't even mine. At first, I figured she was just trying to hurt me, but after a while, got a DNA test. She was not lying. Now for the worst part. After I found out, I tried to talk to her so we could figure out what to tell him. He already knows apparently his real father threatened to take her to court 2 years ago if she didn't let him see the kid.
Whoa.
That's crazy that you didn't know about this. Apparently, she had been taking him to see his real dad once a month since I had no idea. I was devastated by him knowing before I did and everything that happened, so I just left that night and haven't spoken to them in over 6 months now. That's crazy that the kid kept it from him too. Like, the mom just convinced him not to say anything. That's pretty horrible.
I'm curious to know, like, does that kid still see you as his father, even though he technically, like, he goes sees this guy once a month, but he did, like, he's not gonna feel
probably
fatherly
still are
to him.
his father figure. That's the only reason why I feel like it's kind of wrong to leave. Like, I think that's an a-hole move because you are still leaving that child. And even if it's not yours, you were treating it like yours for however long.
This kid does need a stable father figure. And once a month.
It can't be stable now because all this cheating went on. I don't think you're the a-hole. I think you should just talk to the kid, and just be honest with him. And you're going to just have to move on. Unfortunately, and you were put in that situation. You didn't put yourself in that situation. So not the a-hole, and go full on nuclear with the divorce, because you should have filed for a divorce when you caught her instead of staying married to a cheater, as there's a thing called co-parenting. Expose her to everyone she knows and sue the real dad for knowingly letting you raise his kid. That's honestly,
like you were paying for that kid for 9 years.
And just thinking that it's your kid, that's
like,
horrible.
Geez.
It's a setup by her friend to have you cheat so she has a shot in the divorce.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I didn't even think of that.
I was thinking,
that's
so that friend was definitely there to, like, she made a move on you because she was told to.
That's awful. What a horrible person. Oh my goodness. And to do that while you have a kid who's probably so confused about his parental figures now. Like, why are you doing that to him?
Those are some bad examples to set for this kid.
I would definitely say not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole.
And I feel bad for your situation. I think that kid should just come first right now, and
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that you stay. It just
No.
means you should talk to him and maybe try to still have a relationship with him, because
Mm-hmm.
you spent 9 years raising him, so
Yeah,
that is important.
You've been so consistent in his life.
Well, that was interesting.
Mhm.
Definitely let us know in the comments what you think, and yeah, make sure to like, comment, and
Bye.
subscribe.